Hello everyone, welcome to my channel or welcome back. My name is Madison and for today's video I thought I would dive into some fall inspired makeup. I know some people might think it's a little soon. I know fall doesn't typically start till September, the end of September, but it's like almost there. And I'm just so over with the heat and I like to just pretend that I can wear long sleeve dresses and shirts and sweaters and yeah, let's just get into the makeup. So I think I'm going to start with the eyes today. I'm going for something a little bit more simple, but something that's just like warm and smoky and just like a nice fall hug. I'm being really weird in this video, huh? Alright, we've got our tape on. Hopefully this doesn't make my eyes water. I am going to start with the eyes. I don't know if I already said that. First off, I'm taking my MAC Painterly Paint Pot and I'm just going to apply that on my lids as my primer. This is typically my favorite eye primer. I just like that it has the nice coverage to cover all of the, imperfections on our eyelid, and as well as I like how it goes on. Alright, and for the palette I'm going to be using today, I am going to be grabbing the original Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette, the one that looks like this. Mine is really dirty. This is like the OG one before they even put the names on the back of the palette or anything like that. And I am going to just be focusing on kind of just like the warmer browns, a little bit of like orangey yellow just to create that kind of like fall magic. But I think it is going to be pretty simple. I'm going to attempt kind of like a cut crease type thing. One of my favorite colors for fall, and that's the first color I'm going to take, is the color right here called Chickadee. Hopefully I'm showing it, yeah. The color Chickadee, I think it is just, oh no, oh my gosh. This is called Creamsicle. It's like identical to Makeup Geek Chickadee. I cannot believe it's been so long since I've used a Makeup Geek eyeshadow. I cannot believe that I just mistook it. So I'm going to take the Chickadee shade and I am just going to start applying that in my crease, slightly looking down into my mirror just so I get that like actual crease instead of just like putting it in between like the folds. And I'm just going to haphazardly be applying that in the crease. What is your favorite like fall thing? I feel like I used to like not be that much of a fan of fall because in defense, like in Texas, there's like some, like where I lived, there isn't a lot of like season change. It's just like less hot and more hot. That's basically it. But I feel like where I've moved now in Texas, there's a little bit more happening, and I don't know, I just think fall is nice. I also, every fall, I like to watch Gilmore Girls, like Restart. I usually like watch that just like whenever I'm cleaning or something, but I will start from the very beginning once it hits fall because I feel like that's just like a comforting fall show. Alright, now that we've got that creamsicle shade built up, I am just going to take the shade right next to it called Butter. It is just this, just like next light warm brown. I'm going to take it with the same brush and apply it in the exact same place. Just a little bit less product on my brush. And hopefully when we take the tape off, it'll create this like beautiful cut, like winged effect for our shadow. Focusing this color more so on the outer corner, but bringing it in as well, just kind of most of the pigment going on there and then sweeping it in. Alright. Next I am going to go in with a smaller brush, if I could find one. Going in with a smaller brush, and I am going to go ahead and take this shade right here, which I believe is called Buns. Yeah, this shade right here. and I'm going to be applying that tighter in the crease. So smaller brush, more precise, and just kind of putting that right in that little place right there. Just with this tiny little brush, and I'm just going to build that up until I like it. Yeah, I hope this look comes out like I'm picturing it. Alright, on that same, or actually I'm going to switch to a different little tiny brush. This one's a little bit more dense. And I'm going to take the shade Chip right here. It's just like a really deep, warm brown. And I'm going to apply that even more so in my crease, and kind of connecting it more inwards than I did the other shade. We're just basically building up shades of brown until we're satisfied. And I am going to like connect that color into my outer V and go about halfway onto the lash line. This is just going to create depth. I'm going to actually cut the crease out, so this will be probably covered up mostly, but I just want like that kind of like wrap around so everything's really cohesive. Taking that same bigger brush with that creamsicle shade, the first shade we used, and blending all of this. Alright, once that is blended, I am going to be taking a little flat kind of like concealer brush, and I'm going to be taking my MAC Painterly Paint Pot once again, and I'm going to cut out the crease. I'm going to have to concentrate on this part. Hopefully I don't mess it up. So I'm just cutting right below where all of those shades are. Alright, it's a little messy, but I think it's alright. I'm going to take a little bit of a, just the lightest kind of matte bone shade in the palette. Oh. This has shimmer in it, doesn't it? Well, that wasn't according to plan. I always forget that Jaclyn Hill's first palette has shimmer, only shimmer highlights. This certainly isn't the look. Alright, we're gonna go back in with that chip color, which is that darkest color, and I'm just going to lightly hold my brush, like barely applying any pressure, and just kind of scoot that color along the edge just so we have the intensity that we wanted. Alright, and for the lid, I am going to take, I think what I want to take is this shade right here, which this is called Pukey. It's like the throw up brown color right there. I'm going to take that on kind of like a more fluffy shader brush, top off the excess, and that's what I'm going to put on my lid. I don't know why I put that other shade. And I think it's going to cover up all of that nonsense. Yeah. We still have some work to do. Alright, so taking that Beauty shade and then just kind of hugging where that crease is cut to make sure there's no gaps or anything like that. Alright, and going back in with that first fluffy brush, I'm going to take, again, that kind of creamsicle shade and go between that and then that darkest shade to just see what needs work, what needs blending, everything like that. Alright, and to finish up the top of the lid, I'm going to take a brown liquid liner and I am going to not do a wing, I'm just going to do like a nice little tiny line on the top. This is just going to help our lashes look a little bit more natural with the inner corner all lined, and then also it's just going to add to the warmth. Alright, I think we are going to, I'm going to add my mascara and lashes, and then I'll be back and we'll do the face. Alright, for mascara, I just used my L'Oreal, what is it, the original Voluminous Carbon Black Original. And for lashes, I believe they are the House of Lashes Siren Light pair. They're either the Siren Light or the Siren Mini. I threw away the packaging. I've just been keeping them in this nice little ColourPop packaging. So yeah, I think they're definitely the Sirens. I don't know if they're the Mini or the Light. I want to say they might be the Mini because I don't think I had to cut these. Alright, so we're going to start with primer. I'm going to do my Too Faced Plump and Prime Luxury Face Plumping Primer Serum. That's a little bit of a mouthful. I've been really liking this serum primer because it feels very hydrating when you apply it, and I need all the love I can get. That is the one thing I dread about winter fall coming up, because my dry skin just gets out of hand. Like, there's not a cream on this earth that can handle it sometimes. So I'm going to let that sit for just a second. And for foundation, I'm going to go in with the Milani Conceal and Perfect foundation. It has been a while since I've worn this just on its own with no, mix-ins or anything. But for kind of this first fall look, I want to make it a little bit more satiny rather than glowy, which is what I typically go for. So I'm just going to apply that with my beauty blender. I am in the shade 00A Porcelain. I remember when I started liking this foundation, it was, God, it had to be years ago, like 5 years ago. They only had I think 4 shades. And I was using the shade, I think Vanilla, and it was really dark. So what I started doing is I just started face tanning, and then I would just buy the fake tan color of it. So hopefully they have some darker shades now as well. This is a pretty good match for me, I think, the Porcelain shade. It has been a while since I've worn fuller coverage just by itself and not as glowy. Alright, and for concealer, I'm going to do my Maybelline Instant Age Line Eraser. This is in the shade Pool Ivory. I think it's like the first one after the little correctors. And again, going in with my beauty blender, just kind of being careful as to not put too much concealer on that nice little line that the tape gave us. That tape was pretty comfortable on my skin, I will say. It didn't make my eyes run or anything, so that's usually the problem I have with anything else that you'll use to sharpen up your eyeshadow, is typically my eyes are a little too sensitive and they water a lot. So that did not happen this time, so that's pretty good. Alright, I'm going to go in with contour, which I don't think I got. That's embarrassing. Because I've been open the whole time. You guys didn't tell me? Alright, for contour, I'm going to go in with my Westman Atelier contour stick in the shade Biscuit, and I am going to go over it with powder. Sorry, by the way, if my voice is a little... I honestly couldn't tell you what I did to make it raspy like this, but maybe I just need some water. Alright, so we're really going for it with bronzer today because this is a really like warm look on the eyes and I want to match that. So I'm going to take a little brush and just blend that stick out. Sorry if the lighting's changing. It looks like it's about to storm. I'm gonna finish up that with my beauty blender just to make sure there are no weird little lines or anything. That was quite cool toned, so I'm gonna add in the warmth with my bronzer. Alright, for bronzer, I am going to go in with the Hoola Contourist palette. This is a newer addition to Benefit Cosmetics. It is a palette with all of the Hoola shades, which I think is really nice, especially, I don't know, if you're maybe a working artist. I don't know, this probably wouldn't do much for you, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it. But for someone like me, I like to be able to, like, customize my bronzer, so I just kind of dip in all of them. Yeah, I thought this was nice because I would never probably want to go and spend $30 each on buying each color of Hoola, but I am a fan of the formula and I do really like the tones that everything is, that every shade of Hoola is. So I saw this palette and I was like, okay, yeah, I want that. Alright. Alright, we are very, very bronzed. Now for blush, I am going to take the Jaclyn Hill Rouge Romance. I did not mean to have this many Jaclyn Hill products. These are just things I have in my collection. You can use anything that is similar to the shades if you're interested in recreating the look. You definitely don't need these things. I know some people, whatever. I am going to go in with the shade Boudoir in this palette. This is kind of the more warm one. And I just think that this will really do nice in adding some nice warmth, but not being too, I don't really want the blush to be like the standout point, or focal point. I don't know what I'm trying to say. So I'm just applying that. I do go pretty heavy on my blush lately. Apply a little on the forehead, kind of a lot on the nose, and a little on the chin. I feel like it makes me look really like balanced. Alright, and I am going to sharpen up my contour just a little bit using the Kevyn Aucoin the Contour Duo. I was trying to speak French, apparently. I'm going to take it on this little brush and just kind of like lightly just like hug where I put all of the other product, just to give me a little bit more depth. I'm going to do this around the lips as well. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do brows, and then we'll finish up the lower lash line, and then we will finish up the entire look. Alright, brows are on, and let's go ahead and do the lower lash line. I'm not going to make it super difficult. I am just going to take that first creamsicle shade, that kind of orangey shade, and I'm going to really blow that out underneath, kind of connecting upwards towards that straight line that we have. And I'm also going to take that pukey shade that we used on the lid and apply that a little bit tighter to the lash line. Right, next I'm going to take a little eyeliner. This is from ColourPop in the Raw Beauty Christie collection. It's the Marigold liner, and I'm going to apply that in my waterline. And for highlight, I'm going to go in with a little stick. This is from About Face, and this is in the shade Greek Tragedy in the Light Lock Stick Highlighter. And I'm just going to apply it like this. A little bit more pointed areas rather than all over the face like I typically do. And I'm just going to blend that out with my little finger. Alright, finish everything up with a little bit of All Nighter Ultra Glow setting spray from Urban Decay. And while that is still a little bit wet, I'm going to take a little tiny brush and take that first shade in the Jaclyn Hill palette, which is just a kind of like satiny shimmer white, gold-ish, beigey. And I'm going to apply that in the inner corner and right under the arch of my brow. Now, last step is lips, and hopefully the lip I have in mind pans out. I'm going to first take the NYX lip pencil in the shade, I believe it's beige. Yes, beige. And I'm going to fill in my entire lip with that. I've been trying to do my lipstick more where I like cover up my Cupid's bow because I like how that looks on other people. But even like this is kind of a lighter color for a lip pencil, but even if I use the darkest shade, I cannot get this Cupid's bow to not look prominent. Maybe I just have one that like really sticks out. Next, I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal matte lipstick in Matte Cadenia. It's the shade 808. And I'm going to apply that mostly in the center. Go back in with the lip pencil and kind of blend those two together. And I am going to top it with this Fenty gloss in Baby Brute. This is one of my favorite gloss shades ever. Just in the center. Alright, and that is our finished look, my kind of ease into fall look. I really like to do more of a dramatic makeup when it becomes fall and winter. I just feel more inspired to do things like that, as to in the summer I feel more inspired to do more with the skin and, you know, embrace more of my natural features, things like that. But I really like how this look turned out. We weren't sure in the first half how it was going to go, but I think it came out really pretty, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe to the video. It would help me out a lot. And yeah, I will just see you guys next time. Bye!